Hey there, Mandy Shirley, back with some more tips. We have some really fun new tools, and if you think you don't need those, I'm going to tell you that you do. So let's check these out. Okay, so the tools I'm gonna play with today are the new circle and the new square punch. Now, you may be saying to yourself, I do not need these. I already have, Creative Memories has come out with, I think, 3 different, this will be the 4th, circle and square punches. Remember the old blue ones that had the little tiny circle, and then the next size up, and then the big circles. They were like 1/2 inch, 1 inch, an inch and a half maybe. And then they came out with the puzzle maker, or the system that had a square and a circle and a puzzle. Those were 2 inches. These are 1 3/4 inches. You might also say, I don't need the circle punch. I have the circle maker, or I have the custom cutting system, but this is so much faster, right? So I'm gonna show you a couple real quick page ideas using these guys. I have some cardstock here to build on, and then I have a few mats left over from my polar lights, not very many. And then I have some Totally Tonal Winter, and I also have some Totally Tonal Winter borders. So first thing I want to do is I want to cut, and I think I'm going to use this piece. I like this piece. So I'm going to set these aside. We're going to cut 1.5 inches off of this. And remember, when you're cutting less than 1.5 inches or less, to measure on this side of the mat so you have more control of your paper. So I'm going to cut 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to cut 1 inch off of it. So it's an 1.5 inch by 11 strip of paper. Then I'm going to measure, and you want to decide which side you like best. And I really like this side. So I'm going to measure halfway down, which is 5.5 for all you memory or math wizards out there. And I'm going to mark on the back of it so I don't mess it up. I'm going to mark it at 5.5, which is the middle of our paper. I might need something darker. Okay. And then I'm going to mark every 1.5 inches away from that mark. So 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, okay? 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. Okay, and I want to do that on both sides. So we're marking first at the 5.5. And then I'm going to mark every 1.5 inches on the other side of those. And this idea came from my brilliant upline. And we're going to use our circle maker for this one. It makes a really fun shape. Oh, this is the square. We don't want that one yet. I had them in the wrong boxes. That wouldn't have been good. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn it upside down, your punch, and you're going to line these black dots up with this black, or not black, the middle circle right in the middle of this. So you're just going to line that up as best you can. Sorry, this side of it. And punch. And just go down the line. Put it right in the middle of that circle that's on that. Isn't that cute? And look at all these half circles you could do something with. I'm gonna toss them. Okay, then we want some paper to back this. And we can either use the black or this light blue. I kind of like the black. So I'm just gonna center this on there with some adhesive. And I like that side better. So just bump those little notches up to the side there a little. Give it a little space and then center it the other way. And then we're gonna trim that off. And that's gonna be our border. Okay, so there's your border. But then I wanna do something else exciting and make a photo mat the same same way. So I was gonna do black, but I don't think that's gonna be possible. So let's do blue, and we'll do a 5x7. And if you just cut another 5 off, you have a 5x7. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna measure, so half of it is 3.5. And then we're gonna measure 1.5 inches on each side. And then half on the 5 is 2.5. Flip it around and do that same thing again. So mark it at 3.5 and then every 1.5 inches on either side. And then at the bottom, we're gonna mark it 2.5 and every 1.5 inches on either side. And hopefully this all works out. And we're gonna do the same thing. Just line in that little dot. I don't think I wanna make that one yet. With that circle underneath our punch. Okay, so there's your mat. Think superheroes. That's what that reminds me of. Kapow. Okay, then we want to make a mat for it out of this same paper. So I think 5x7 will work. Let's see. We could do 5.5 by 7.5 just to be sure. Then we'll have lots of extra space. And we're just gonna put this guy on here. And then that's where you'd put your photo. Isn't that fun? Then, to make it even more interesting, we could cut some more mats with our, it kind of reminds me of a postage stamp, a little. So let's see what that looks like. Out of this same, I think, should we do blue or black? I kind of like the blue. So let's see, if we want to make 4x6 mats, we need to cut a waist strip. Okay. And then we'll cut a waist strip here. And then we'll cut at 4. Cut a waist strip here. And then we'll cut at 6. Oh, and we're gonna have to cut this off so it looks the same. Okay, so there's our 2 photo mats, other photo mats. And I'm gonna build it on white. Let's put our blade back so we don't forget and don't lose it. So what I'm thinking is we probably need some more black on this page for it all to come together. That's my first thought. You know what we could do is cut a 4x6 black to put inside of there, and that will pull it together a little bit. And I think a 4x6 will fit perfect. There we go. That's a little better. And then I was thinking, I think I'm gonna use out the next one. Ooh, okay, this will definitely pull the black together. So maybe we don't want both of those. Or maybe we want this. No, I don't like it. Just doesn't match enough for me. So I think I'm gonna put this up top. So let's glue it all down. It's a kind of a crazy technique, but I just had that thought that it could be superheroes. This piece could, that would look good. And you know, to really tie it all together, we could put black in there too. So let's cut a few more. We'll do 3.5 by 5.5. Will be a double matted picture. I know you guys are all thinking, this does not look very good, Mandy, but we have some fun stickers still to tie it all together. I love the Totally Tonal. It matches so good with our Polar Lights or whatever, you know, whatever collection. So I really like these words that say bundle up. But I think they need to go on top of this little, because this matches our whole motif, right? I guess these are leavish looking things, but oh yeah. That looks great. And then I love these stitching ones. And I was thinking maybe I would just do like pieces. Get my micro tip scissors out. Kind of like that. And maybe one more up here. And since I have a little bit left, I think I'll share them between these two. And then we still have more bundle up. So what we could do is cut these off, and we could just do that. What do you think? I think it looks really good. I like it. It's simple and quick. Okay, there's page 1 for our little test router thing. And then what I want to show you real quick before we move on to our last page for the day is how easy it is to make some really fun borders. So what you do, I got the square now, and you're gonna line your paper up with the side of it and punch. And then just line that punch up again with the side. Just line your paper up with the side, and it makes a really fun, quick border. So you just trim that off. You got all these squares. Trim that off. And you can just put it on like this, and there's your border, and you can fill it with embellishments. You can turn these back over, maybe just in some of them. I love that look. That's a fun border. And you can do it with a circle or the square, same principle. But what I want to do right now is another fun page with the squares. So I'm going to do the same thing again because I could use it for another page. Uh-oh. Well, I just need squares for the purpose of this demonstration, but this border is no longer good. Oh, I got something caught in there maybe. No? I don't know what it's doing. I must have had something caught in there. All right, let's try those for right now. And I'm gonna get out my piece I wanna build on. And I wish I had some Polar Light stuff left, but I don't. I used it all. So, except for those few borders. But this will be fun too. So, just seeing what I got here. I'm just gonna center these up on here like so. And see, I used the double-sided paper, so I got lots of options. And I'm just gonna glue these down. Let's see, I need to pick 3 mats. I know I want to use this one. And I need something that matches. I mean, that's kind of fun. Like I said, I don't have a whole, ooh, that's really fun. Just pieces of Polar Lights left, which is sad. All right, I really love that. I wish I had more of that, which I don't. But I do have this. And that all kind of matches. although it's going the wrong way. So we could turn our whole page over. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so first thing I need to do is cut this 4 to 6 because this was a bigger mat, 4 by 6. So you just have to cut a 1/2 inch off each side. And then I want to cut I think I want to cut a couple strips, like maybe 1/4 inch strips. Cut this off. Ooh, and let's do a fancy blade. Let's do my favorite is the decal. I don't know why, but it is. It looks, I don't know, rustic. Is that the word? Okay, 1/4 inch is the edge of your gray mat. And I think that's all the wider I want mine. So I cut one, and then I'm gonna take my fancy blade out and put it away so I don't lose it. And I'm gonna cut one more. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is line these guys up in the center, going all the way down the middle of my page. And it should fill your page up if you're using 3 4 by 6 mats. Right? So we got a little journaling, a title block, and then a place for pictures. So if you just have one picture of something, it'd be perfect. Or if you have 2 pictures, you could definitely fill that up with some pictures too. Or another thing I really like to do is cut my pictures tiny. So you could cut your pictures as small as your squares and just fill those up. Oops. There we go. That just adds to it, doesn't it? That decal blade. And you could just put a big strip of paper behind all of this, but then you'd be wasting all that paper. So cut 2 little ones. All right, and then we're back to our stickers. And I love the stitching. So we can stitch together these. That would be cute. I'm gonna attempt. Yep. And then I have, what else do I have? I have some smaller stitches. I have, I wonder what these would look like. Or these look like our decal kind of. If we went down the center of these. That's kind of fun. I really love that they give you, in the borders that they make, they give you 2 of each. And here's some more smaller stitching to go right down the middle. And then guess what? We have some more bundle up. And I think I'll just do 1 or 2 of them. I'll do 2 of them. Just like that. What do you guys think? So, like I said, just because you might have other circle and square makers does not mean you don't want these guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. If you don't already have an advisor, please pick me. And head over to my Facebook page to see my schedule of events. and I hope to see you all soon. Thanks for watching.